let's start with me making dinner. So we're going to go over the challenge action result format. It's typically an interview format, as I said, but it's also a great way to structure your resume. So challenge the CAR format. If you look at Mr. Google, he will tell you everything you need to know about it, but it's challenge, action, and result. Challenge, action, result. So let's see how dinner would look on my resume. So there are a couple of sort of standard rules to bear in mind when it comes to a resume. You want the company, you want the dates that you're there. You needed a little bit of an explanation about two things. Paragraph before you get into the bullet points, the car bullet points. You need a little bit of an intro. So you need to say who the company is, like been in business since X number of employees, Y number of reports, and then launch into a little bit about what your mandate was, what your overall mandate was. What that does is that sort of sets the scene. And if you sort of think about your resume as telling a story, it's the introduction, it's the framework. And if you think about some of those Hollywood blockbusters where, there's this little bit at the beginning where it sets the scene for what's to follow, And a resume is a marketing document. Marketing is all about storytelling. So once you've set the scene, which is what we've done here, now we're going to get into the bullet points. So previous attempts had resulted in slightly overcooked meat. There's your challenge. The action, new process. Initiated an innovative new process. And the result, perfectly cooked. Let's get into that. Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts. And then the pièce de résistance. Parsnips and potatoes in the air fryer. I actually looked this up, reducing our carbon footprint by around 20%. I actually looked this up for this presentation. 3 bullet points there, all about me cooking dinner. That will tell you a little bit. Now, the best way to do it on your resume is if you've got bullet points there, typically bullet points, obviously resumes are achievement oriented. So if you've got bullet points on your resume, best thing you can do is maybe kill a couple of trees, print it out, or you could even do it obviously on the screen itself. But you can actually just highlight it. 3 colors. The color for the challenge, a different color for the action, different color for the result. And what I noticed on your resume was that your resume was quite heavy on action and result, but not so much on the challenge. So again, if we come into sort of telling the story, you didn't set the scene.
Right.
And so if you can sort of set the scene a little bit, that's where the challenge is. It helps to explain it. When you write a couple of those out, if they get a bit wordy, let them. It's a lot easier to edit it down than to write it in the first place. But when you put it together in that format and then you read it off, be like, yeah, you know what? This makes sense. Let's try that. So that's the first bit on the kind of format I'd like the resume to take.